Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Doc and Queenie Facebook Live. Good afternoon, Queenie.
Good afternoon, Doc. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and it's Monday.
Yes, it is.
Oh my gosh. I cannot tell you how many places I get kicked out of for saying that.
I bet you about 90% of the places you go to.
Yeah, I do the happy Monday thing, and they're like, oh, please leave. Oh my gosh. I really, honestly, though, I can't even tell you. Monday is so my favorite. The way the week has started off already, I'm like energized and ready to roll. So, how are you doing today on this glorious Monday, Dr. Laura?
I am fantastic, Queenie. I've got most of my chores done as far as work, etc. I've started working on my windows for my greenhouse. So yeah, I'm
Wow, that's cool.
sleepily plodding along.
Wow. Okay, so wait a second. You have been working on the floor, whatever you call all of that. So now you get to start on the windows?
Yes. Now I'm in, and next thing I will be stripping all the paint off of it, sanding it, and repainting it. So
Wow. Now you have to be loving this weather, honestly, for all the physical work that you're doing because we've had quite a shift in Kansas City from hundreds to 80s to I think this morning I got up about 5 and it was 50 something degrees and I was like, oh my gosh.
yeah, it's been nice. I don't break out into a sweat as soon as I walk outside.
That sounds like a good thing. Yeah, that sounds like
Sounds a good fit for you, Queenie.
that sounds like a good thing for sure. Oh my gosh. Well, I love the fact that you are getting so much done. And maybe if you called the day of the week a different name, of course, that would be even worse confusing for your schedule. And if today's Monday, but you really call it Friday, would that help?
No, because then I'd have 4 more Fridays ahead of me. So
Okay, then we better stick to the right names of the week.
we're
Okay.
gonna have to stick. We're gonna have to stick to it.
All right. Okay. Then I will try not to be quite so effervescent on Mondays.
No, that's okay. You have to be yourself.
Oh, be careful of that.
I know. But your teaching point, how many people are putting up a front when they're networking and trying to be something they're not, or trying to force something that won't happen. There's always a reason for things not happening. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree completely. And that the transparency piece I do think is a biggie. Now, that's not to say put your best foot forward, but it is definitely let people know the real you. And then they can decide if there's 20 or 30 or 50 or a million people who do what you do, they can pick who they want to work with. So that's very true.
Hey, Queenie, sidetrack.
Yes.
I've got my national days of up here. So are you ready? I don't have any backgrounds today.
Okay.
Because
Well, I can't wait to hear what these are. I didn't check ahead of time, so this will be great.
Happy September 12th, everyone, by the way. It's my oldest brother's birthday.
Woo,
So
nice.
he never watches, but let's see. It is National Boss Employee Exchange Day. I'm not exactly sure what that means.
Wouldn't that be interesting to switch roles? Whoa.
Yeah. National Chocolate Milkshake Day, for those of us that like chocolate and milkshakes. Are you a milkshake person? You're kind of making a face.
I have not had a milkshake in 100 years, and I probably will be fine if I don't have one again ever.
I think mine's been about 75 because milkshakes fill you up and you just don't. For me, dairy is not my friend. And so it just makes my stomach hurt. All that sugar and ugh.
Yeah, I just don't like to waste space. If I can fill it with water, that makes me feel better. So I think that might be my deal. It's not my thing.
Here's a good one. It's National Day of Encouragement.
Oh, I love that one.
What is the difference between encouragement and edification?
For me, edification is saying, oh my gosh, Dr. Laura, you are so great at sharing with all of us about your dynamic gardenary business. And for me, that is edification basically based on something that you have done. Encouragement for me is, oh my gosh, Doc, I know you can do this. Let's see the windows. Let's see the paint. Let's see everything be assembled for your dynamic greenhouse. So that encouragement piece is something that hasn't happened yet.
Let's get through. Yeah, let's get.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We're having a lag. I apologize. It's probably on my part again, but yes. So I said, yes, I forgot. I just made a joke and I totally forgot it already. So
oh my gosh.
It's National Policewoman Day.
Sweet. Thank you to our law enforcement ladies.
Definitely. And that's about all, because I don't recognize any of these celebrity people. So I guess if I was 20 years younger, I would.
Oh, isn't that the truth? Everybody says, did you hear about whatever they say? And I'm always like, who is that? And they always say things like, do you live in a box? Well, maybe
Yes.
I must, I guess, but I don't watch a lot of the stuff that these folks would probably have starred in. And so I wouldn't know the answer to that. But I love the law enforcement, ladies in law enforcement. I just think that is such a dynamic protect and serve kind of thing. And
Yes.
A lot of time, and you know what, Doc, that brings up a point for me. I have heard recently such a big thing about, oh my gosh, I'm in a man's world, or whatever that looks like. And I love being in a man's world because we all have different roles. And whether you are networking in a chamber of commerce, where obviously it's men and women in the room, or if you're in a ladies only networking group, I think it's one of those dance with the one who brung you. It's back to that same thing. We can learn to be effective in any environment, I would think.
Yes. Oh, definitely. And you know, if others aren't treating you well, maybe that's, you know, the sign to switch groups, punt and pivot, go somewhere else.
Correct.
You know, if it's, you know,
look at
I think,
look at what
go
you
ahead.
have done. You walk in and you've done your reels for your Instagram platform, and you literally walk into all these hardware stores and you walk out with vans and trucks filled with all the stuff that you do. And I wonder what the people in the building thought when you first walked in. And if I walk in, I'm obviously going in for Christmas lights. If you walk in, you're going in for concrete and cinder blocks and boards. And so it's just a different thing, being in a man's world, so to speak.
Yes, definitely. Very definitely. So, but you know, we can all get along.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That is so true, honestly. And certainly we'd like to thank all of you who are watching live with us on Doc and Queenie. And we love, love, love having this community. It is so cool to be out in other places, either in person or certainly virtually, and have people say things like, hey, Queenie, what's up? And hey, Doc, how's this? And it's very, very cool to be part of a community that is this large. I love this.
Oh, there's a delay. All you said was part of a community that, and then you went blank.
Okay. We are going to have to send dynamic cyber vibes out to your location, my friend. For sure. All right. Since you talked about the national days of and what you're going to be doing with your greenhouse, what does it look like for your I think it's your Instagram reels where you're posting these. Is that right?
Yes.
And we can keep up with
you. I post a lot of what we do now until you heard me. Okay. Somebody heard me. Yes. All of, there's bits and pieces of what we're doing on Instagram. It's kind of peppered throughout what I normally post. So, but hit another milestone, Queenie.
Let's hear it.
I have to look because I looked at it the other day, but my son was on one of my reels and he was pulling up roots from the trees that had gotten underneath where the where the greenhouse was going to be. And the last time I checked, he is at 11.3 thousand views.
Oh my gosh, that is so amazing.
And I got 20 likes. That's the part that's still, I'll say it consistently. 20 likes out of 11,000 people. I'm not really sure what the percentage on that one is, but
That's fantastic. And Lisa Fredrickson actually is the one who got to hear all of your quips, which is cool. Now, think about this from a standpoint of engagement. When you're posting all of your reels and your son is doing the wheelbarrow lifting thing, and where's the engagement piece? People see the reel, they look at the reel, they like the reel, yay. But where is the conversation part? And for me, it's always about asking questions. And have you ever used a wheelbarrow? Have you ever had your family involved in your projects? And maybe that would help, because the thing for me is you've got more views than anybody I have ever actually personally known on Instagram, and your reach is explosive. But I do wonder what's up with the engagement part.
yeah, the reach, I've got the reach down. Like, yeah.
Absolutely. Have you ever,
It's like anything, you just got to keep trying.
I know that you've got plenty on your plate right now, but I'm instantly thinking in terms of Instagram classes. Is that in your future?
Yeah, if anybody asks, I'd be happy to. Are you asking?
Well, actually, always yes, because few people, a lot of people are on Instagram, and how many people get the reach that you have? So that's why I was asking, because to be able to have a class and 50 people show up, I think that would be the coolest thing ever, to be able to take your message and explode it to other people as well. It doesn't seem to matter what industry they're in either. Is that true?
No, it does not matter. And if you look at, if you look at my numbers, they're not real huge, but I haven't been focusing all of my work in that direction. I do a reel a day. And I'm still kind of experimenting, but my reach is about 42, between 42 and 45,000 people. So,
Oh, gosh.
and that's part-time. Yeah. you know, so I haven't buckled down and gotten serious on a pattern yet, other than my pattern right now is to try and post a reel at least once a day. And if I don't get to that, then sometimes I'll do just a basic post, or sometimes I'll just skip the day. Like yesterday, I do believe I skipped it. So,
Wow. And yesterday was a birthday in your family, I believe. Delay, delay, delay. Oh my gosh.
there you are. Yesterday was a birthday, you said?
Uh-huh.
Yes, actually. Yesterday, as we all know, was 9/11, and then it was my daughter's birthday. So I did actually, now that I think about it, I think I did post late last night a picture of our dinner from a couple of weeks ago. So but you can do anything. That's the fun part about the reels. You can post anything. I've chased the dog around the backyard. I've zoomed in on dinner. I've there's just a lot of fun, silly things on there.
I know that I think it's on one of your playlists on your YouTube channel, or maybe it's on your reels, Dinner at Doc's.
Yep. Yes, yeah. Dinner at Doc's, and that'll be coming back here in the next couple of weeks. And that's just using, I try to go as organic as possible, and I try to provide little YouTubes on just very simple, basic recipes. So,
wow.
So subscribe to my channel.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is so awesome. Anyone that is watching with us live, certainly, or on the replay, if you have a YouTube channel, please post it in the comment section of this video, because I'm telling you what, the people who are involved in the Doc and Queenie community are so incredibly engaging and responsible for the growth that we've had on so many of our platforms. And we thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Because I think this community is so participatory and so willing to help. And I love that.
Well, and I apologize, I'm sidetracking. Yes, I agree. But you've had a milestone this past week with you.
Well, yes, I have actually. I hit 500 subscribers. But let me tell you, thank you very much. Let me tell you what I was not expecting. I got an email from YouTube with a picture and a little video thing that said, "Congratulations, Kathy Weaver KC, on hitting 500 subscribers on your YouTube channel." And I captured it, thank goodness, because I certainly couldn't find it in all this email mess now. But it is amazing to me that YouTube not only pays attention, but participates and responds back again. I'm actually going to do a blog post about this because now I have found by hashtagging YouTube and hashtagging YouTubers that more and more people are reaching out that I had not met yet before. So the hashtag thing is amazing to me.
I wonder if I go back on my YouTubes and add that to my YouTube hashtags.
With all your videos, I can't imagine how long that would take, but you never know.
Well, I don't have as many as you do, but yeah, I think last time I looked, I've got about 120 plus.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, it's all like we talk about. The hashtags is a big deal. And I always shoot for, the most used as much as possible. And then I put usually at the end or intertwined in my hashtag group, my own, and we've talked about that before, my own hashtags, Garden Doc 7, Kitchen Garden Expert. I know for you, it's water, it's healthy lifestyle, it's Kangen. I'm trying to think, recycle is another one for you. You were doing something with the plastic bottles the other day, but I can't remember what that hashtag was.
Hashtag end plastic waste. And I also do hashtag Kathy Chat and hashtag vodcast. And that has been an interesting way to meet more people that I would not have met before. So there's so many different ways to reach out. And so, Doc, you mentioned before that you use the hashtags that are used most. Can you give us a very small tutorial on how to find that?
A lot of times I will go, if you have an Instagram or YouTube page, or even on Facebook, when you hit that hashtag symbol and then start typing your word, it'll pop up. It'll pop up with, let's say happy. And underneath the word happy, it'll tell us how many people have used it. And I look for the ones that, say 1.2 M. M stands for million. So I always look for those millions out there, as opposed to, and it's funny, if you misspell words, you even see hashtags that have been misspelled. So I find that funny.
Now that would drive me nuts.
Yes. So if you're on any of those platforms, it'll pop up, and that's usually how I check it. So, wow. And I'm always trying something new. So, the ones that you normally use on the platform, at least on Instagram, it'll say recent. So it will not show me how many people it reaches. But I know which ones, like in my business, gardening is a biggie. Raised bed gardening is a biggie. Garden to table are biggies, so I use some of the same ones continually, even when I'm posting about pulling up tree roots.
Farm to table and foodie and all of those things, and vegan and gluten-free. You've got so many choices with all of your different teachings and trainings that you do. And I seriously love that. It's kind of like on Pinterest. I know, don't faint that I'm on Pinterest, but sometimes the reason for that is I do a search. And very seriously, them are some ginormous foodies, and how to do salmon correctly, how to do roasted mushrooms, all of that stuff is at the ready, and your recipes are right there. You can screenshot it. It really is a very cool system.
Yes. Pinterest, or as we say in my family, Pinterest, is very addictive. My daughter is always saying, "Oh, Mom, don't get recipes off of there." I do all the time. I do all the time. It's a great resource. It's faster actually than Googling it or
I agree with that. Yeah, and in my case, you get pictures. I need the pictures.
You need the picture, yes, and the jump to recipe button.
Yeah, super important. Yeah. And then how long to bake it, what to do with it after that, how to serve it. Yeah, it's Pinterest is a good
I know that's all.
place.
I know you're really into that. Yes.
Well, I'm not into it, but it's kind of like when I'm invited somewhere, can you bring chips and plates is usually what they ask of me. But all of a sudden I surprise them with a dish or an hors d'oeuvre or something. And the reaction is what's worth it for me. If they don't eat it, I actually don't care. But the reaction when I walk in to a party or something with a plate full of real something, they literally go, "Where'd you get that?" And so I'm getting used to that. And it's a good thing I am not sensitive in my culinary skills.
This is good. So, Queenie, hey, I think it's time for spinning the wheel to see what else
Oh
we
my
can learn.
gosh. That's all. Thank you for making sure we stay on track, Doc. All right. Thank you for making sure we stay on track. All right. There we go, Doc and Queenie. And boom. Let me know when you can see the wheel.
I can see the wheel.
All right. Let's spin this baby and find out what we're going to talk about today. Boom, boom, boom. Whoa. How cool. This is the background that Lisa Fredrickson actually made for us. Remember
Yes,
that?
it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep. And I slapped it on Canva and made a word of the day. So, what is your word for the day today, Queenie?
Well, actually, this has already happened this morning, believe it or not. Consistency. Consistency. And I have been around people who are not gifted with that yet. And consistency is my thing because for me, if I wasn't consistent, I can't handle not having a schedule or an agenda. And so I am rigid when it comes to my schedule. Now, that being said, I have to book people out sometimes 3 and 4 weeks away. And I don't mean to do that, but my schedule is so full that I have to be consistent or all of my meetings would collapse. What is your word for today, Doc, besides the fact that you love Mondays?
Well, and I was going to bounce off of, I really don't have a word for the day other than get up, but that's 2 words. So that doesn't count.
Uh-huh.
But there is a great app out there. And actually this is another Lisa tip, trick, help. She's very helpful with different things. She got us onto Power Thesaurus. And so I looked up the word consistent, and I'm going to, I think from the list, I think it's a constant would be a good, another word for consistent. Persistent, steady, constant, stable, firm, unfluctuating. There's a good one.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm flexible as long as you don't change anything.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm in control, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, and isn't that an interesting thing? As soon as you said steady, do you remember one of the chapters? I've got my book right here. You'd think I could remember my own book. One of the chapters in my book is Tsunami Duck. Mm-hmm. And because I remembered this right off the bat, the tsunami duck for me is the duck is swimming. Everything's wonderful, gliding along the water. It looks terrific. But if you've ever gotten to see a picture of the underneath of the duck, those little, whatever they're called, are flying around like cray-cray. And there's no calm there, but they're just swimming along that lake like it's wonderful. But underneath is where all the work happens. And for me, steady, that's what people see. And regardless of how much work you do behind the scenes, especially in leadership roles, you need to make sure that the steady is what shows. Now, we all get those frazzled moments, I'm sure, but I think it's super important for leadership roles to have steady in them. And so I love the Power Thesaurus because we've used that on a lot of occasions for different courses and things like that. So I love that.
Yes, and to bounce off of your steadiness, I mean, that's steady not only in your habits, but in the way you could say consistent. I guess you could say steady in the way you treat people fairly, treat people with respect. and then the consistency of that, and like we always say with having your own business, being small business owners is really nothing to sneeze at. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of consistency, and it's a lot of drive, and that drive is to just keep moving forward to see how things are going to happen, and whether it's success or networking or whatever. But consistency that is one of your foundational. I think that's one of the foundations to really life, especially business.
And I really agree 1,000,000%. And we can't go consistently all the time. I get that. And all of a sudden, one phone call can change your day or your week or your year, actually. But it's back to that same drill. It's kind of like how you handle it. Is it a response or a reaction? And so many times you have taught us so much as far as breathing. And before you have that explosive moment of yikes, take a breath and then see what happens after that. And it really does reset the nervous system, as you tell us. And I have seen that personally when trauma is happening or whatever's going on. You can't really help someone else if you haven't taken that and take that breath for yourself. And that I think has been foundational times a million for me.
Well, and you can't be consistent also if you don't take a break for yourself. And like even just that breathing piece, being aware of what you need. So if you need a break after working, weeks and weeks and weeks of 10, 12, 14-hour days, your body can't take it. Let's start from there. I mean, that's an obvious. And that also segues into the food. You eat junk food, or you're eating out of a window constantly, your body can't take it. I mean, you may feel fine, but eventually it's going to tip because it compensates for everything as long as possible. And then as we age, things start downhill, depending on what you feed it. But I totally sidetracked on health part. But
no, look at what you did. You are consistently able to help us realize that it is all about food. We can't run a business. We certainly can't run a household if we don't.
It's all about food.
Absolutely. If we don't have a foundational piece, and it starts with nutrition. And I believe that 1,000,000%. And the self-care piece is so ginormous. We have to take care of ourselves, or we are not going to be able to help anyone else, whether it's business or coaching or training or anything, if we have not done the foundational piece. And it really is. Your blog is amazing. It's all about food is real.
Yes. It's just like they say when you're sitting on an airplane, if those oxygen masks come down, you take it first before you pass it to your child next to you or whatever. We always have to take care of ourselves first before we can help others.
Yeah. And thank you, Terry, and for your comment. I love the wheel idea for a topic. That has proved us well, actually, in a lot of different groups and trainings and things like that, because we can teach all day long about our favorite subjects, our favorite topics, our favorite something. But when we hear from other people, I wish we would know more about, or how do I this, or where do I something. The wheel keeps things moving from a standpoint of it's not always the same week after week for us.
It keeps us on our toes.
Yeah. That's the hard part right there. It keeps us on our toes. Absolutely. But
it's fun. I'm sorry. There's a cutout.
No, that's okay. I just wanted to go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I just wanted to say that I love the word piece, because you have taught us also, Doc, that words are powerful, and that is a fact.
Yes. And I was just going to comment on, we're always teaching, different things. I actually have coming up this week. I've got a training on YouTube. I've got a training on, I develop websites. So I'm showing my clients how to do some basic things on their website. There's always room for training, teaching, and learning. So.
Yes, I agree 1,000,000%. And I have a person in my network who won a posting party at one of our big events. And I'm happy to facilitate it. And she is hesitant to promote it to her team because she doesn't know how to do one. And so I said, encouragement wise, wouldn't it be awesome if we started the very, very beginning so any of your team who doesn't know how to do one can learn right along with the rest of us? So that's back to my favorite saying, the expert at anything was once a beginner. We don't come out of the box this way as a rule. It's all development and school, education, training, learning, going to different events, boom. And all of a sudden when the light bulb comes on, it's like, ta-da, I think I know how to do this a little better than I did before.
Or just push a button.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm surprised my computer allows me to push buttons.
Yes.
Yes.
So what else is new in your, do you have any asks today before we've got about 5 minutes? Do you have any asks for our viewers out there?
Well, my biggest ask in this particular case, as I said, for the YouTube channel, I appreciate the subscribers times a million. Yes, I do. But I really am asking in the comment section of this video on our Doc and Queenie Facebook group page to please put your link in the comment section. First of all, yes, so other people can subscribe to your channel as well, because the numbers growing are very fun to watch. But there's also a preferred list option. You have to customize it on your YouTube channel. But now every single person that is in my network that has a YouTube channel, I'm able to post the link to their channel on my preferred list. And I really would love to do that because promoting other people rocks my world. And so please put your channel link in the comment section of this video, and then I will add it to my preferred list. When people come to my channel to subscribe, they'd see my preferred list and click, 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 click is all they have to do to subscribe there. So that's my ask. What about you, Doc? I know you've got a big ask.
Well, I need somebody to help me finish the greenhouse. But other than that, no, I'm just.
Oh my God. You heard it here first, folks.
I'm joking. I can't reach the roof. Oh
my God.
So I'll be hanging from a ladder here in the next couple of weeks. We'll have to do a reel on that one.
Oh, that will be too fabulous. That will probably get 1 million views, my friend.
Yeah, what's the view from top of the roof? My ask, I'm working on trying to get my 100 subscribers on my YouTube channel. Yeah, and I would like to also say with the Doc and Queenie Facebook page, we would love to have people, like you're saying, post their information about their businesses. But, we've had people participate. If you find something cute or funny or want to do a poll, just pop it on there because you have at least 275 people that get that feed. And a lot of these people, we've known these people for at least 2 years, if not long. I know you've known people longer than I have. Your network is a little larger than mine, but we're all intertwined, and that's how you expand your reach. So that would be my ask for myself, and then for Doc and Queenie page would be fabulous.
I love that. That's awesome.
All right. Well, Queenie, guess what? We're out of time.
I knew you were going to say that.
So, and I, my internet, I tell you, you keep freezing up about every 10 seconds. So I'm not exactly sure. Hopefully, like Lisa said, she can hear me. So I guess I'm probably still moving, though on my end, I'm not. So I love technology and I love Mondays.
Yeah. Say that again until you can say it and believe it.
Yeah. Yes. There you go. Yeah, and consistently. Please say that. It's so positively speaking. Thank you everyone for joining us, whether it was live or on the replay with Doc and Queenie Facebook Live at
High Noon.
We so enjoy having you participate with us, checking things out, commenting on our new platform and with our spin the wheel. So if you would like to join us next week, we'd love to have you. I heard Kathy Laura was breaking up. Yep. That's consistent Facebook user.
That's Lisa.
You can catch us here next week, same time, same place. Until then, have a fantastic week and be blessed. And we will see you back here, same time, same place. Thank you very much. Bye-bye now.
Bye, Doc. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Queenie.